Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new FTB Infinity Expert Skyblock video on the FTB1 server. Lots of beautiful and fantastic people on this evening, and we are now upgraded to a new version, and it's a pretty sweet version. So we are at beta 0.2, if I'm not mistaken, and what that means is we are getting closer and closer to release. There's still no official date, but once we hit beta 1, we are planning on going to a public release with potential updates in a beta status where your worlds could be corrupted and all that kind of stuff. But that is something that is on our agenda. That is something that was discussed. Equally, there's been a ton, and I mean a ton, of changes to the pack. I don't even know if I know them all or if they've all been implemented yet. Yeah, I'm still not too sure if they all have been. But anyways, we are cruising. I've set up a little automated system here with some item ducts and servos. All that we're doing is we're pulling out the items once they hit this here, and the princess and the drone go right back in. That's all that this is doing. Now, I've used these dense item ducts here, and what those basically mean is it's always going to find a close inventory first, and then if it can't find that, it will find a farther one away. Alright, so just by putting these dense items on there, you're kind of prioritizing the inventories just based on their distance, which is very useful, and it's working quite well. As you can see, we have quite a few drones and whatnot, and we're getting a decent amount of honey as well. We've gotten the common queen and common drone, and we have those guys breeding up like no tomorrow, and they are pristine stock, which I didn't know this last time, but pristine stock basically means it lives forever. Whereas ignoble stock, these guys will eventually die off after about 100 plus times through. Now, I'm pretty sure we're getting close to some of these ignobles potentially dying off, but luckily hives are not all that expensive to replace. So that's just that. It's a little messy and stuff, but I didn't want to move everything and all that, but it works. That's the main thing. One of the other things that I made on the stream here is the begonia from Botania. We also made some endo flames. Again, basic Botania stuff, pretty straightforward. I hope you guys kind of understand all that. But the begonia, basically we can drop bees that we don't want. They're going to get eaten up by the begonia. Pretty straightforward. And they're going to offer a little bit of mana. Now, for some of these basic guys, you really aren't getting much. You're maybe getting one shot of mana into your mana pool, and that's it. But as you get more and more advanced with drones and princesses and all that kind of stuff, it will generate more mana for you down the road. So I'm just kind of using these as a bee drone waste disposal. You know, those bees that I just threw in there, I didn't need. And it's a nice little waste spot. So, quickly, let's update a few things. There have been some things removed. There have been some things that have changed. And let's discuss those right now. We have added in, if I'm not mistaken, let's find it here. I have to find it. I can't. Is it actually called that? No, it's not. It is. We've added in the Tinker's Construct tools that can level up. So you can see my tools here. They now have skill XP, mining XP, and all that kind of stuff, and skill level. Now, these tools are a little bit hacked, to say the least, because I made them beforehand. Normally, what you should see is, I think what we're going to be doing is one modifier when you make a tool, and you can have up to 4 with paper, thaumium, and magical wood disabled. Now, the other thing that is removed is the extra Tinker's Construct stuff. The extra TIC, which allowed for things like the Enderium pickaxes, the Enderium swords have been removed. Also, Signalum bows. So the OP bow of Pew Pew is gone. All right, so there's a lot of different things, and I recommended shiny for people in a previous episode, and that is no longer available. So any of that stuff, oh wait, shiny is still available. Never mind, we will stick with that. That is quite useful. It's a good material that you can use, but things like Electrum, oh, they're still in there too. Ah, okay, so mostly just the OP tools then got removed. That's good to know. So that is a thing as well. Now, this leads to a couple different things. You're not going to be going as far into Tinker's Construct, I don't think, as what you may have previously with the OP weapons. It also does make it a little bit more grindy. But it also enhances the tools like the Mana Steel tools that are decently cheap. Where are we at here? Mana Steel pickaxe, for example. Pretty easy to make overall. And it has durability and all that kind of stuff. But it will enhance these somewhat for you. Pretty good use. And same with like the Terra Steel. No, this guy right here. The Terra Shatterer. You know, that might improve the ability of this. And equally, mana tablets have been changed as well, so they're not nearly as difficult of a recipe. A lot in Magic has changed overall, and there is a ton. We are actually basically at the point where some people have the option to basically restart if they want to test out the Magic stuff, because what we want to be able to do is go completely from, you know, square one, all of Magic. All right, and that includes resource gathering. So a lot of things have changed on that front as well, but we haven't really dabbled into that too much. I wouldn't mind getting into it a little bit more, and I think we're going to do some of that right now. So let's proceed to make ourselves one of my favorite items in the game, especially early on, is the Ring of Magnetization. Now, I know I made this one last time and all that kind of stuff, but my lord, I absolutely love it. So let's make it now. So 2 blocks of iron, some gold, some redstone. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, good. We're going to need a decent amount of iron, if I'm not mistaken, or steel, actually. We may need to use steel because we don't have that much mana. So let's get a little bit of the gold. We have all of that. Now, what do we need for the middle piece here? We need 4 Mana Steel ingots, 4 Mana Steel nuggets, plus another 4. So that's 9 Mana Steel at least. Okay, we can do that. We can do that pretty easily. We also need a piece of glass. So let's get that as well. Pretty straightforward. Boom. Okay, and let's take 9 pieces of steel. Steel's pretty easy for me to make at this point in time, so that's the thing. Equally, my levels have changed. Don't worry, I haven't died. We're still good. We're still all the way down at the bottom here. The reason it's changed is I made myself some new boots with Haste 3, Protection 3, and Unbreaking 3. All drops from the mob farm, from manually killing those mobs. So you can get some pretty decent little loot. Alright, so without further ado, let's do this. All 9. Excellent. Okay. The first one we're going to transform like so. We also need to get the mana glass. Ah, beautiful. Okay. So let's make the mana lens magnetizing. So there's our mana lens. Let's make it magnetized. Really? What are we missing? What are we missing? I don't know. That should have worked. Okay. And last but not least, let's make our ring. Beautiful. Ring of Magnetization. Now, this guy can go into your baubles. Obviously, I have a couple things that I've just kind of gotten. But we just got the achievement for Inner Arts. Very nice. Very good achievement overall. We'll just put that away for right now. But equally, now we have magnetism. So if something's down on the ground and we go nearby it, because I dropped it, it takes a little bit longer. Boom, we suck it up with our magnet. This is very, very useful for things like hammering things like AgrarianCraft as well. You know, the fact that I can come up here and go, okay, I need to get pumpkins. Boom, boom, boom. And we can harvest the whole thing without even moving. And we get all 36. it's pretty darn nice. Now, conveniently, I needed pumpkins, mainly for some more seed oil and stuff, but pretty straightforward, and away we go. Now, luckily, I am in a great spot. Some people had the advanced tools, and they have to remake their tools. Whereas myself, all of my tools were still of adequate standard tinkers, so I kind of lucked out by being slow at the start here. The next thing that I want to do is I want to fix this. All of this right here. We need to fix our inventory ASAP. And we're going to do this two separate ways. The first way is we need to make a knapsack. Now, a knapsack is pretty straightforward. It's from... Oh, it's the other way, isn't it? No, it's not. What? What is it? What is it again? I know I had it. Knapsack. This guy's from Tinker's Construct. Oh, yes, I need aluminum, brass, or gold. That's right, I almost forgot. The knapsack from Tinker's Construct is a great item. Sorry about that, just had a quick sneeze. Oh man, that just came out of nowhere. Oh boy. Alright, good. So we'll just use a piece of gold. That'll work just fine. And this guy can basically hold a decent amount of items. You put it in your armor, like so, and you back out and go back in, and we basically have another inventory here where we can store some of this stuff that we're not using all that regularly. You know, just like so. Much nicer, much cleaner overall. Equally, we can maybe put some other stuff in there that we maybe have left out. You know, keeping these guys with us might not be a bad idea. The industrial craft wrench, again, not a terrible idea to keep that along with us. I'm not sure. A few levers is usually a good thing that I like to keep around as well. But for the most part, we should be pretty good. The scoop and the saw, as well as the immersive engineering hammer. There we go. And we might as well keep our juicer as well. So a decent amount of items that we can keep in our knapsack, and it's almost full already. That's good. The other item that I like to have, I always like to have a bag on us, right? I always enjoy having a bag because you can just store more stuff. And you know what? We made the caches, and they're working out great, actually. I'm really a big fan of the caches so far. But we can make a thermal expansion satchel. Now, the other thing that you can make here is the golden, what is it? Golden bag of holding. The bag of holding is another great item for this, but it is a little bit more expensive overall. But you know, if you don't have like rock wool, you're not going to have, right? But wool you have, and once you get some leather and stuff, it's pretty straightforward. So a little bit of tin. Hey, Tech Brute. There we go. Again, I highly recommend following everybody on Twitch with all of these accounts. They are honestly amazing people. The meeting that we had for this mod pack was something that I loved. That was amazing. Having 30 plus people all weighing in on balancing and changing and manipulating this and that was amazing. Alright, so the satchel. Good. Now, this guy's kind of small. It's cheaper, but it's small. Now, the bag of holding is quite a bit bigger. It gives you a much larger inventory. I believe it's the equivalent of a chest. Now, that's really nice. But we can improve this as well. So let's get some Invar. Boom, boom. Do I need 3? I only need 2. Good. And some tin nuggets. Okay, that one's interesting. Don't think I really have much for tin nuggets. And the reinforced is going to be Invar nuggets and reinforced glass. Okay. So we'll do the tin with the Invar, and we'll get this guy up to a hardened satchel. Now we have 2 sockets, or 2 slots worth, right? Then we can go with the reinforced glass, or hardened glass, whichever you prefer, and a little bit of Invar, just like so, and we can make the reinforced satchel. Of course, it doesn't auto-complete for us, but that's a different story. There we go, reinforced. So now we have 3, and the last one is the resonant. Now, I don't have Enderium yet, so that's something that we'll have to get around to next time. Oh, I had some right there. Oh, dang. Okay, that's fine. We'll put it back into an ingot. I thought that was a different material. But now we have this bag. One of the best things about the satchels is this. When you hit U on it, you can see what it's used for, and you can upgrade it, of course, to resonant. You can, what is it, security lock, like privacy it. But the last thing is right here, under the enchantments. You can get, I believe it's 2 enchantments, because I don't think Flim Flam is actually something you can get. But you can get Soulbound and Holding. Okay, now Soulbound, of course, is an enchant that lets you keep it even if you die, which we don't plan on doing. But Holding 4 is an amazing enchant that increases the storage of the satchel even more, which is pretty darn cool if you ask me. Now, I do have in here the recipe loaded up for the enchanter. Now, this is also partly because I want to get the achievement and work our way through. So let's first of all make the enchantment table. Pretty simple. Now, we don't really have the books for it yet, so I'm actually just going to put it away. I need to farm a whole bunch of sugarcane and stuff, because that's probably the easiest way to do it with the watering can. And by theory, we have a decent amount of experience over here as well that we've kind of been harboring up, and we might as well put to good use overall. So we'll look to enchant this satchel as we go. The other thing that's cool is you can hold shift on it and see what's inside of it. So, for example, there might even be a hotkey. Is there a hotkey? No, that's baubles. Let's take a quick look at the controls here. I'm trying to remember if there is a hotkey. I think there is, or there's the potential for one. I can't remember exactly for like an open bag. Baubles inventory is B. Okay, inventory sorting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I thought there was, but maybe there isn't. Not a big deal. Yeah, oh well. Yeah, not a big deal. I thought there was, but that's fine. But, so let's say we put the crescent hammer in there. When you hold shift now, it'll say crescent hammer. Okay, so that's kind of nice that you can get a quick sneak peek of everything that's in the bag without actually opening it up. Alright, so, next, let's take a look up here. Now, these guys just bred for another day. I don't think we're going to get any more animals anytime soon, just saying. But, I think we are good to go. Yeah, we got lots of stuff, which is great. We need a ton of drones. I think the next step here is to breed the common drone and get it up higher yet again. I'm going to start doing a little bit of farming and stuff, and once I'm done, we will go from there. Alright, so here we go, and I made myself another apiary and another forest hive. Let's see what we get here. Bam! Nice. Magnetism, so good. Now, we did get an ignoble stock, which isn't what I was hoping for. I was hoping for another pristine stock. But, you know, it's one of those things. So, what we need to do is we need to now cultivate a... We need to now breed between a common, and because we only have common drones, we need to get, you know, princesses and all that kind of stuff. So what we need to do is we need to go with a standard princess. Now, I'm thinking about taking this one here, which is part of the pristine stock of the forest variety, and breeding it with a common drone, one of these guys right here, that's also of the pristine variety. So this is something that I'm debating here, because that'll allow us to work our way up to cultivated. Now, this is usually the part where I run into problems a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. So we need to make some adjustments here. So that one just bred a new one. So we do have common drones. There's not really any other way to get princesses, though, if I remember correctly. So let's take a quick glance at these guys with our beealizer and see what we're looking at. So this guy here is pretty straightforward. A very decent bee, all things considered. It's active. You know, it's very good common bee. Anyways, let's look at this guy here. We got slower, 3-3. Okay, that's pretty good. The only downside is it's ignoble. And that is a pretty large downside overall. I don't think this is going... Oh, it does match up with those. Okay, good. So yeah, that's a bit of a setback. Not gonna lie. So anyways, let's throw down an apiary and see how we do. Again, I'm not the be-all, end-all. See what I did there? When it comes to bees. At all. Not at all. So there's still a lot that I need to learn from it and expand on. So, but first of all, let's do the exact same system here. We can set it up. You guys can see me set it up. And then that way we're good to go. Now we will need to get a dense pipe for in the middle here, because I do want to keep these guys continually breeding. And I guess we'll just go with these two and hope for the best. Hope for the best. There is a chance that you can get pristine still. Maybe it'll take the pristine from, you know, something else. But let's get these guys breeding. Now there is upgrades that you can do in the apiaries here. And we should have probably done those. One of them is the mutations upgrade of soul sand that's quite strong. But maybe not quite where I'm at, if you know what I mean. But maybe it is. Let's see. Soul frame. These guys here from Extra Bees. So it's soul sand with an impregnated frame. Impregnated frame is basically wood turned into sticks with seed oil. It's not a bad idea. And what that does is it kind of presses the button to mutate faster. Is what it does. So let's get some of these at least started up. We have a little bit of seed oil in there. Let's get some sticks made up. And we'll probably need more than that. So let's get a little bit more. We'll get another bucket of seed oil. Sadly, this seed oil goes pretty darn quickly. We can centrifuge that. And that should give us some of these sticks. That gives us 12. Let's get 4 more. Yeah, we'll do 4 more. That should give us an even 16. Now, I'm kind of lacking in string. What are different ways that we can get string from? Industrial hemp is a thing. And how do we get that? There's a seed that we can only get from grass. Is that honestly a thing? Okay. There's cotton from Pam's Harvest Craft. We could look to get the cotton seeds. I can breed those, so that's a thing. Maybe we'll do that a little bit here. Get some cotton going. And last but not least, we can get it from wool, which we do have a sheep. So we could get it from the wool of the sheep and pulverize it. That might be probably the easiest way for us to get it at this point in time. And we do get 4 from it. So I think that's a pretty good strategy overall. So we have some impregnated sticks. What we also need is a piece of lead dust. Now the lead dust, what that does is it makes the item ducts, it turns the item ducts to being dense. Alright, that's what I've been using. So you combine that with that and you get a dense item duct instead. Alright, oh god, anvil please. Anvil please. Alright, one other thing I forgot to mention early on is I did make a redstone furnace as well on stream. Pretty straightforward. You guys know the recipe, and we got that enabled as well. So let's you know what, let's get out our shears here from our bag, and let's get a little bit of string because we're pretty much out. The other thing is I could silkworm a tree and go down that route, but I think that we should pretty much be beyond that at this point in time. This is one of the best parts about the Ring of Magnetism. I now get all of the loot that drops, no matter where it drops, which is fantastic. More chickens. More chickens. More chickens. Yeah, baby chicken. Oh, don't get in the way. Don't get in the way. Alright. Okay, so those guys are cultivating. Everything's going well. We got the 3 pieces of wool. That's good. So now we can work to get ourselves some more string. I don't think I really need to keep the wool around, to be honest. Just saying. I don't think it's really necessary. I'm just more or less looking for the string at this point in time. So there we go. A little bit more string. Good. We only need 2, I guess, is all I'm making. Is that all I'm going to make? Nah. I think we need to go with... Yeah, I think we're going to make another whole batch here. Let's just get another bucket of seed oil and just transfer it over manually. Because, again, we're going to need it. It's not a big deal down the road. Okay, so that'll give us 3 impregnated frames. Good. And now all we need is 3 soul sand. Now, soul sand is witch water, but I've completely removed our witch water area. So I think I'm actually just going to use these impregnated frames for now. Or we could set it up again. You know what? Let's just set it up again. Let's get a barrel and let's get some dirt. I should have some somewhere. Do I not have dirt anywhere? I think we are completely out of dirt. And we need some ancient spores, which I should have a whole bunch over here. 46 of them. Holy cow. Let's take 8. Let's take 9. We have tons. I'm not too concerned. We'll get this guy all fired up. Okay, let me get a little bit of dirt. Do we have some? No. We have no dirt. Alright, let's get a little bit of dirt. I want to show you guys this recipe anyways. So if we take some shears and we shear up some leaves. Leaves are definitely one of the best ways to go to collect dirt, as you guys know. And I do have the barrel set up over yonder that you guys see right there. But there is another way to get dirt. And that way is with rotten flesh in a crafting table, just like this, with some leaves, like so, and a little bit of sand. So you take some of that sand that you're using, and you get yourself some dirt that way. It's pretty nice recipe overall. Just converting some leaves. You can also do it with saplings as well, but I do recommend the leaves. Oops, always have your F7 on, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, good. So that's that. Let's get one of these. Tech Brew. I made top deaths in an hour. See, obviously me and Tech Brew have different priorities. Alright, good. So that is now all mycelium. We'll just put a torch there so we're good to go. And a quick bucket of water should do the job here and get us at least some witch water. Now, obviously it'd be a little bit better to automate this, but for now, I think that'll work just fine. So let's get some soul sand. I need 3, and I need 2 more buckets of water. So, without further ado, let's get soul sand. Alright, so here we go. Here is our last soul frame. We got it. We did it. Alright, so there's 3 soul frames. I want to just see what happens here. I have a feeling that this is going to go terribly. Don't you guys? I just have that feeling. I don't know why. It's nighttime. I wonder if I can get somebody to sleep with me. Just saying. Alright, so let's put this guy on here so that we're dense. You know, that way it'll always end up going back in here first. Again, there's more compact and everything like that recipes that we can do. I found there was some good ones with storage drawers and stuff too, which we have to get into right away. We do need a few storage drawers, and I'll show you why probably next episode. But for right now, come on, sleep. Alright, so I wanted to bring you guys back in because we did get a cultivated. Now, I didn't use the soul frames yet in this because I just let it finish its thing. But cultivated is what we are looking for. And that is a pure cultivated. Wow. Okay. That is impressive. Princess is a common forest. And the drones are a common forest. So those are not... That's not great overall. But we do have a cultivated drone. Now, I wonder if we can force it with this. I don't know. I've never tried this, so let's see what happens. I guess. Worst case, I can always make another hive. I'm not too concerned. So let's put in the soul frames with the cultivated drone and see what happens. Now, these should enhance the chances of mutation. Alright? And that's kind of a nice thing. It is. These guys we'll keep in here for right now. They should enhance the chances of mutation. Now, you still have to go through the whole lifespan of the bee. The other thing that you can add to these things is chocolate frames. These guys greatly reduce the lifespan of a bee. I'm not too worried because I'm on a server and all that kind of stuff at this point in time about reducing the life of the bees, but it's not bad. So we're going to keep trying to get some cultivated here. And actually, I think cultivated plus common, if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check. Cultivated and... oh, maybe not. Cultivated and common... yeah. What does that give you? It gives you one of the other tiers as well. So we'll see what we get. Maybe we get something cool. But we need to get one of each of the bees anyways. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for this episode. Oh, no, it's not. Let me get the last thing prepared here. And we should be good to go. I mentioned, I think it was 2 episodes ago, about getting the redstodendron seeds. Alright? Now... the redstodendrons are pretty straightforward in that you need daisies and red tulips, you need dirt, and below that you need a redstone ore. Now you'll see a little bit of a different thing here. You have a bright red, and it goes hardened induction smelter or higher required. It has been disabled. I built this one on a basic. Now, it has been disabled for the basic induction smelter. So you do, for sure, need to get yourself up to the next tier. Now, the induction smelter next tier is not that difficult. A little bit of Invar and Electrum gear will get you to the hardened machine that will work for you. So it's still not all that difficult, but it is another step, and we wanted to label that as best we could. But in the meantime, let's try out one of the other new changes that has come to AgrarianCraft in the Modpack. Alright, so one of the other changes that has come, let's just quickly bone meal these guys up, is we can now force mutation with bone meal. So there you go. So the middle block there, as you can see, we forced it with bone meal. So it will make AgrarianCraft quite a bit less grindy. Now you will probably start going through bone meal a little bit quicker, but it's not too bad at all. Red tulip, okay, and I don't think the other change came in yet. I hope it didn't, because I am not prepared if it did. But hey, this is why we do testing, right? Let's do it. Okay, red tulip. There we go. Redstodendron seeds. Very nice. We have them. Okay, good. The other potential change has not come in yet. We'll just leave it at that. But there you go. We have the redstodendron seeds. Now, the problem is I only have the one redstone ore to grow these on, because no matter what, every single block that you have this seed on requires a redstone ore underneath it. So we need to jump into drawers, and we need to upgrade our induction smelter next episode. So thank you all so much for watching this one. I really do appreciate it. I hope you liked it. We're dabbling in lots of different things, which I'm kind of finding a lot of fun, actually. And I hope you guys are too. It's a little bit different, trying unique and cool things, but there you go. Piece of redstone. How sweet is that? Am I right? Okay. Well, that's it for me. Leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Tell all your friends. It's really helpful, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.